I'm going to take off this quarter panel because we might be able to visually see the pump. So if we do a visual inspection first, and if nothing's visually wrong, then we'll plug the auto in and we'll see if we can see it losing pressure. Plugs. But I can't just call up Bugatti to buy new ones.
So the car would have to be on site with ourselves at any parts get ordered, you see.
So now I've got to figure out where all these parts come from.
Bugatti didn't just deny a repair. They went silent on a man who'd already given them millions of dollars. And that silence turned into one of the loudest scandals the supercar world has ever produced. This starts like a dream project. It does not end like one. Because by the time this story is over, you'll be questioning whether owning a Bugatti actually means owning anything at all. Matt Armstrong bought a broken Bugatti Veyron. What he uncovered inside it would make Bugatti look less like a manufacturer of automotive royalty, and more like a company with something to hide. And the deeper he went, the more it looked like the hiding was the whole point. The previous owner got hit with a repair quote between $100,000 and $150,000, just for a gearbox that refused to shift. That number wasn't a repair estimate. It was an eviction notice, a number designed to make you walk away instead of fight. And it worked. The owner left, the car got repossessed. And it sat there abandoned, worth millions and worth nothing at the exact same time. A machine built to be the pinnacle of engineering, reduced to a warehouse decoration nobody wanted to touch. Matt bought it anyway. Most people would have looked at that price tag and kept walking. Matt looked at it and saw an opportunity nobody else was willing to take. On paper, this car looked almost perfect. Spotless paint, untouched cabin. The engine roared to life like it had never missed a day of work. But shift into gear, and the car simply refused. No movement, no response. Just a very expensive statue sitting in a garage, mocking everyone who walked past it. So he called the manufacturer. Seems reasonable. You'd think the people who built it would want to help the man who just took a broken hypercar off their hands. Instead, nothing. Calls unanswered. Messages ignored. Every dealership gave him the exact same wall of silence. And here's the thing about silence from a luxury brand. It's never actually empty. It's a decision. And that decision was to leave him stranded, with a car worth more than most houses and nowhere to turn. So Matt stopped waiting and started digging. And what he found next would completely change how you think about unrepairable. He tore into the wiring behind the transmission, expecting to find a disaster. Instead, he found a blown fuse. One single fuse, controlling the hydraulic pump responsible for building the pressure that lets the gearbox shift at all. Kill that fuse, and the entire system shuts down, mimicking a total transmission failure so convincingly that even an expert would believe it. The fix cost pennies. A problem quoted at 6 figures, solved by a part smaller than a house key. Let that sink in for a second. A repair bill that could total $150,000, and the actual fault was something you could fix with a screwdriver and a 5-minute YouTube tutorial. But the blown fuse was never the real problem. Fuses are the symptom, not the disease. Something inside the Veyron forced it to sacrifice itself. And unless that hidden fault was found, it was only a matter of time before the next failure arrived. Matt had solved one mystery, but unknowingly stepped into a much bigger one. So he tried the obvious route. Go back to the people who built the car, surely they'd want to help save one of their own creations. But what happened next exposed a pattern almost nobody talks about. It wasn't just frustrating, it completely changed how people viewed Bugatti. Matt picked up the phone and tried a simple experiment. First, he called as someone interested in buying a brand new Bugatti. The response couldn't have been faster. Friendly voices, immediate attention. Every question answered. But the second conversation took a completely different turn. This time he revealed he already owned a Veyron and needed help repairing it. Instantly the excitement vanished. Calls were redirected. Conversations slowed down. Suddenly everything became complicated. That contrast said more than any press release ever could. Selling the fantasy happened in seconds. Supporting the customer already living that fantasy became a completely different experience. And unfortunately, the worst part hadn't even happened yet. While tracing the electrical issue, Matt eventually identified another suspect hiding beneath the surface, the fuel pump control module. Bugatti confirmed they had the part. Problem solved, right? Not even close. They refused to sell it directly. Instead, the repair had to go through their approved network, where the total cost climbed into tens of thousands of pounds before the work had even begun. Whether you call that quality control or customer protection depends on your perspective. But one thing couldn't be ignored. The manufacturer still controlled every major repair on a car someone else legally owned. By now, this wasn't simply about fixing a Veyron anymore. It had quietly evolved into something much larger, and the next discovery would make that impossible to ignore. While investigating the fuel system, Matt uncovered an old Bugatti recall involving 72 Veyrons, suffering from the very same fuel tank control issue. His car had supposedly received that update years earlier, yet the fault still returned. Maybe it was coincidence, maybe it wasn't. But every answer seemed to create two new questions, and the deeper he dug, the stranger the story became. Then everything changed. The component responsible for the blown fuse, the hydraulic gearbox pump, wasn't some magical one-of-one Bugatti invention at all. Its design matched a pump found in an Audi A6 all-road. Buy it through Bugatti, and the price skyrocketed. Source the equivalent Audi unit, modify the wiring correctly, and the exact same job could be done for a tiny fraction of the cost. And that rabbit hole went far deeper than anyone expected. The gearbox pressure accumulators traced back to the Volkswagen Lupo. The spark plugs cross-referenced through ordinary Volkswagen part numbers to standard NGK components. One by one, supposedly exclusive hypercar parts kept leading back to everyday vehicles from the Volkswagen group. The more Matt uncovered, the harder it became to ignore the obvious question Bugatti never wanted customers asking. That discovery instantly divided the automotive world. Some people saw it as proof owners could finally escape outrageous manufacturer markups by sourcing identical components themselves. Others argued that using shared parts without the right knowledge could destroy a million-pound machine in seconds. Both sides had valid points, but neither side could erase the evidence sitting right in front of them. Then Matt decided to test something almost everyone accepted without question. Bugatti's official annual service costs roughly $27,000. On paper, it sounds outrageous. But once you understand the Veyron's dry sump lubrication system, with multiple drain points spread across the engine and gearbox, the complexity starts making sense. This isn't an ordinary oil change. It's precision work where tiny mistakes can have enormous consequences. But Matt refused to believe the price itself was unavoidable. Instead of cutting corners, he sourced genuine components through legitimate channels and worked alongside respected Bugatti specialist Simon Furlonger. Every step followed proper procedure. Every component was verified. Nothing was rushed. Nothing was improvised. The only thing missing was the enormous manufacturer markup. The result stunned almost everyone watching. An official service worth around $27,000. Completed for just under $1,200. Read those numbers again. $27,000. $1,200. Same vehicle. Same maintenance. Same outcome. The difference wasn't mechanical. It raised a much bigger question about how the hypercar ownership model actually works. But this is where reality matters. Matt's success wasn't luck, and it certainly wasn't permission for inexperienced owners to copy what they saw online. Years of rebuilding experience, specialist knowledge, and guidance from experts made this possible. One wrong decision inside a Bugatti Veyron isn't just expensive. It can destroy one of the most complicated road cars ever built. Eventually, the impossible happened. After months of setbacks, dead ends, hidden faults, and constant resistance, the Veyron finally ran exactly as it should. Smooth, healthy, reliable. But getting it running had never been the final objective. There was still one promise every Bugatti is built to fulfill, and nobody knew whether this rebuilt car could still keep it.